good day to our HOTS fans. Because I am the smartest human being on the planet, I did manage to forget to switch it from delay to not delay, just because I always have it on delay. So hopefully you can wait 40 seconds to hear my opinions on your thoughts. But now we have a heroic division game between BoomerGaming and Team Happy Cloud. You can see that BoomerGaming has banned Garden of Terror and Sky Temple, and the Team Happy Cloud has banned Towers of Doom and Infernal Shrines. So 4 of the larger maps have been removed here. And game number 1 will be on a small 2-lane map, the Battlefield of Eternity. This map loves to involve skirmishes and team fights, and for that reason, I love it. So, let's pop into the game, see what these teams have drafted, and then see what they have to offer us in game number 1 between BoomerGaming and Team Happy Cloud. So, we can see here, so on the left we have Team Happy Cloud. They have drafted Imperius, Zul'jin, Kharazim, Blaze, and Uther. I believe looking at this that is an Uther main tank with Blaze and Imperius for follow-up. But the Uther can also give heals, and Kharazim can give heals, so this gives them some really strong CCs, some pretty decent race. It does make them a little bit susceptible to getting chunked, as both Kharazim and Uther can be taxed on their mana if there's a lot of poke coming out, and Hanzo and Li Ming, I think, could be classified as a lot of poke. So it will be kind of incumbent on Drinking Bird and Blaze and Rob on the Blaze and the Imperius to get some stuns, to get some engages, and to make it impossible for the long-term poke to bleed their healers dry of mana. But their race should be good. Imperius, Zul'jin, Kharazim, all pretty strong autos. On the other team, we'd have Hanzo, Yrel, Anduin, Muradin, and Li Ming. And what we're looking at here is a really good race with the Hanzo and Li Ming. Muradin is good at creating space, Anduin's good at getting people in trouble, and Yrel is also very good at creating space. So I would say this is the more standard composition for this map, but it has a lot of ability to fight, it has a good amount of ability to race, and it can rotate fairly well as well, meaning that they're, if they lose a fight, they can always rotate somewhere and try to take a building, a camp, or whatever. So I think both these teams have really good compositions for this map. I think the burden of execution may be more on this kind of triple frontline team, but it should be fun to watch nonetheless. Let's get started in game number 1. In the blue, we have Team Happy Cloud. On the Imperius, we have Drinking Bird. On the Uther, we have Fade. Chrisinator is playing the Zul'jin. We've got Rob on the Blaze, and over on Kharazim, we have R275 Delta. This is Team Happy Cloud. Team Happy Cloud. In the red, representing the Burning Hells, we've got Calavoth on the Muradin, Dope Monster on the Li Ming, I Feed on Hanzo, E-Bagatron on the Anduin, and Chronicler on the Yrel. These guys are known as BoomerGaming. So we actually have the Impaling Light, so the Q build here. And here comes the jump. They jump immediately on the Muradin. He's taking so much damage, big stun, and that forces the pull out from Anduin immediately. Well done there by the Drinking Beard Celestial Charge. We got Bone Slicer for giving people, for making his Q stronger, so removing armor, and basic attacks don't remove it. There is the jump immediately onto Calavoth again, and that's one thing about multiple frontliners is you usually get more hard CC. Got the Iron Fists as per usual for Kharazim, the Adrenaline Stim Pack for Blaze, and the Silver Touch from our Uther. As they're going to jump once again onto this Muradin. They just keep finding reasons to make his life difficult. In the top, offlaners are doing offlaner things. On the right, we've got Simple Geometry, the W scatter build for our Hanzo. We do have Dauntless from Yrel giving her armor. They jump once again onto Muradin. Calavoth's taking a lot of damage. He's going to get very low, but the stun is going to keep him just barely alive. My goodness, that was close. With a Power World Shield from the Anduin, Dwarf Block for the Muradin, and Aether Walker for this Dope Monster. Calible takes so much damage again, and this 4-man is so aggressive with their crowd control. Drinking Bird is just hitting Celestial Charge after Celestial Charge. Just absolutely excellently played on the Imperius here. In the top lane, it does look like Blaze is getting a little bullied here by the Urel. But Blaze doesn't usually have to worry about too much in terms of dying 1v1. He can usually be pretty strong. It does look like there's going to be a rotate here. Shh! Don't tell BoomerGaming. They're going to go for this top camp as the bottom one does get cleared out. This is going to give them the experience lead as Kharazim and Zul'jin come to attack some Khazra here in the world of Diablo. Chronicler is going to look up here, but it's just a moment too late, so will not attempt to engage. Hanzo and E-Bagatron's Anduin will come to take their Bruiser camp. At the moment, that is not a priority for Team Happy Cloud, as they look to push with this top camp, as it is only Urel to defend. And this may surprise you, but a Space Goat with a hammer has no ranged abilities to stop this siege camp. iFeed will capture the camp, very low on mana, is forced to back. Zul'jin will start immediately on this camp as the Immortals spawn in about 15 seconds. Imperius is a very good duelist, at least prior to what we'll see on the PTR coming to life. And they are positioning to defend? No, to attack. This will be their attacking Immortal. And iFeed and Dope Monster are going to go instantly onto attacking the Angel Alarian, while Chrysinator is going to start chucking axes at Belith. But this race is heavily in favor of our red team at the moment, and they will get to halftime with a pretty solid lead. And so, Team Happy Cloud is going to have to look to find a halftime defense, but with it in the aggressive position, that will make life a little trickier. Blaze is still top, is just finishing off this camp, is coming in now. There is the stun on to Fade, but Drinking Bird willing to eat the combos from Li Ming to try and make sure this doesn't hit their Immortal. But Zul'jin is racing, which means it's still a 4v5. Chronicler jumps onto the Angel, but Chrysinator is getting solid damage onto Belith here. Good knockback by Chronicler. Kalavoth will jump in. Delta try to create some space here. Does get left on by Chronicler. There's the Impaling Light onto Chronicler. Is knocked back. The simple geometry stacks are coming out. And it looks like, oh, with only 600 health, that's about 2 autos for Zul'jin. This first Immortal will go over to BoomerGaming. Incredibly, incredibly close. So, Belith will make an Angel Pancake out of his opponent, slurp all his health out, and siege the high heavens in the top lane. Meanwhile, the offlaners are doing offlaner things. The demon approaches the gates of heaven. So, a very small shield, so his ranged attacks will be very, very short, and he's already been pushed into his melee attacks, which is what he'll use when he doesn't have a shield. We see the attacks coming out here. Delta punching away with that Kharazim. And the poke damage is getting big here when the Punisher is the focus. But Delta able to put some pressure there. And Kharazim scales moderately well with things like 100 Fist or Cleanse or whatever you might want on him. As he gets more abilities on his punches, pretty good. There's a big stun, but Chronicler managed to survive some huge heals from E-Bagatron. The Desperate Plea just barely saving Space Goat. And a huge pull on Kalavoth, keeping the Dwarven King from being murdered by a troll. So, the Alliance sticks together on that one. Both offlaners had started to rotate up, it looks like. No, Chronicler was in that fight. So Blaze had started to rotate up, but ended up not being needed as Chronicler double orbs him, unfortunately. We're going to see a 4v4 fight going big here. Health bars are looking to favor our red team. But Chrysinator's still thinking he'll be aggressive on this camp. Dope Monsters throws an orb over. They're going to catch Fade here. The Censure lands. The Earth ally is dropped to keep them safe from the auto attacks here. And now they are looking at taking this camp, thinking that they can hold on to it. Dope Monster is going to throw some poke, as is iFeed with the Scatter Arrow. There is the Censure. Calible thinking about leaping in? No. They will back off and give over this camp, as Urel looks to capture the bot camp in response. Rob Mounting up. Is he going to be able to delay this in time? Chronicler. This is going to be a 1v1. While in the top, we have a 4v4. Fade is getting incredibly low. Crusaders, they're backing off. But Urel manages to knock back Rob and take the camp. Meaning now he has to deal with angry Khazra. Immortals are spawning in 8 seconds. Neither camp will be ready in time. And this time, it seems like they are spawning in defensive positions. There is a stun on Calibo. Delta is incredibly low on mana, not able to do very much at the moment. Meanwhile, in the bottom, Chronicler is defending this basically full health Khazra camp. The poke is coming out onto Alarian now. A stun onto Calibo as he gets hit by the stun circle. As the scatter arrows go in, as do the Stormbow. And so both teams are taking a moment here, but the poke is better on the side of BoomerGaming. Blaze is bottom. They're looking to hit 10 first. They have just hit 10. We got the Divine Shield, 7-sided strike, Taz Dingo, Bunker, and Angelic Armaments, and they will walk immediately towards their opponents, saying, we have 10s, come get us. And so they're looking... BoomerGaming is looking to take this camp to get themselves towards 10s as well. But with that lead, the halftime goes decisively over to Team Happy Cloud. iFeed is forced to jump over, takes a ton of damage after that Celestial Charge. Not able to steal away the camp, though, and it does go over. 10s are now here. We have Dragon's Arrow, Ardent Defender, Light Bomb, Avatar, and Wave of Force. Incredible Divine Shield keeps the troll alive. He's unkillable. Does he have to use Taz Dingo? He still has 40 hit points. The jump is coming in from Chronicler. There's the Ardent Defender. There's the heal up, but they kill Zul'jin. They kill Blaze. They're jumping onto Drinking Bird. He gets blown away. Fade is getting targeted next, but they're going to peel away from this fight and go towards. And that's 3 members of Team Happy Cloud blown away by an incredible Dragon Arrow engage from iFeed and BoomerGaming. So, as the camp pushes into the top, the gate is entirely down. In the bot lane, this is where Belith will spawn. So he will once again WWE Ilarion, jump from the top rope, and siege the high heavens, this time from the bot lane. Fade trying to clear this away. Uther maybe not the worst to do it, but not the best either. And Chronicler is able to soak the minions here and make Fade's life annoying. Now, Rob will rotate up on the Blaze. But with triple frontline, that does mean you have less range damage to safely deal with the Punisher, especially when it's in ranged mode. Drinking Bird does get stunned and knocked back by the Punisher as Belith starts slapping away at this fort. Crusader is in a stun circle, just manages to walk away in time. iFeed blasting away with the Stormbows. Calivold forces these people. The Dragon's Arrow will come out and hit its only Fade, though. The Stormbow will fall out as well. But the 7-sided strike forces Calivold back, meaning there's no value in the light. But Chronicler takes a ton of damage, but manages to walk away as well. And the Punisher will go down, putting a good chunk of damage onto this bottom side gate. Rob has managed to push a wave of minions into the top gate with a turret down and now the gate going down. They'll rotate up, seeing if there's any opportunity to do damage to the offlaner. There isn't, but a cheeky orb slaps into the top fort nonetheless. Delta will finish taking this camp, and in the top we have BoomerGaming taking the Khazra camp, and on the bottom we have Team Happy Cloud also taking a Khazra camp. We're just making sure we're playing fair. Blaze is looking to see if it's possible to defend on the top here, but Dope Monster can just throw magic at this fort, and it is starting to look pretty chunked. Calivold is just tanking it. They're throwing things at it, and top fort will go down. But it looks like in response with the siege camp and with the bruiser camp, they want to take out this camp. Now they are going to jump onto Crusader. Does a fair amount of damage. Drinking Bird had tanked the fort. They're looking to take the fort. Crusader still chucking axes, but it looks like BoomerGaming wants to try to get this keep gate. So Delta is here to support Rob as the Khazra mercilessly throw spears into this top gate. In the bottom, the fort does go down. Crusader wants to kill Chronicler, only needs a few more autos. Oh, but the Ardent Defender! And with Fade here, they may still be able to kill Urel. Chronicler looking to find an opportunity to stay alive, and she will, as iFeed and Calivoth look to punish this overextension. Crusader will take the long way around. Calivoth not able to find the troll. He's going to back, but it looks like Fade may end up paying for the sins of the Horde. Guys, where are you guys? I'm a ghost now. What do? Here, have some healing. Blue. So, the start of the race will go over to the benefit of Team Happy Cloud, but they are quickly pushed off, and without their main tank / healer, they are forced to let the halftime go over to the members of BoomerGaming. Sorry, the dog is like shrieking and I don't know why. 1 second. I think possibly somebody is home, so the dogs are going honky donkers. Hope you can't hear that. They're not hurt, they're just whiny. So halftime will go over to our red team. Now blue team is looking to defend here. Team Happy Cloud does not want to give over yet another mortar. They're going to put a little bit of damage on here with that Karazim. Chronicler will jump over the edge and knock back Fade. There is a camp pushing it. It's a long time before it's at that gate. So we see here they're continuing to fight. Fade, they get this. The Dragon's Arrow will miss, and it's going to go off and hit some poor angel who's combing his hair. He doesn't understand why that showed up in his bathroom, but there it is. Chronicler does jump in. They're going to put a ton of damage onto Imperius here, forced to use Angelic Armaments, and the 7-sided strike will come out and hit Calavo, as they are getting good damage onto the demon here. Chronicler will leap in a good 3-man knockback there. Drinking Bird gets low once again. They're going to put damage and stuns onto Calavo, but he's able to stay alive with a tremendous animal healing. Oh, the troll tries to get in the bunker, but it's just a little too late. Rob will get stunned. Rob will get killed. It's a 2-for-0, and now this camp is on the keep gate. And fight after fight, BoomerGaming is coming out ahead, and this triple frontline composition, it had a lot of potential, but it is just really, really struggling to find its footing with Punisher after Punisher going over to BoomerGaming. And the Dragon Arrows, outside of that last one, the Dragon Arrows have been very good from iFeed. His Hanzo has been impressive. So, Belith gets about a 1/3 shield, jumps into the bottom lane, and is looking to start smashing Heaven's Keeps down at this point. So, all members are back alive. 16s are here, and Dragon Arrow is back up. So, at any point, iFeed could choose to start this engage if he sees a big enough clump. Chronicler will jump in, knocks back Drinking Bird. The members of Team Happy Cloud desperately want 16s. They're putting damage onto the spinning. The 7-sided strike will come out. Calivoth gets very low, but Chronicler will come in, knocks back the Imperius. Out comes the combo from Dope Monster, while Belith continues to slam. The keep is going to go down. It is gone. Delta is very low. 16s are still not here for the members of Team Happy Cloud as Rob gets knocked back. But they choose not to continue this. The Immortal goes down before any permanent damage can go on the core. And they are rotating to the top, seeing if they can do some damage here. The Stormbolt misses. Out comes the Light Bomb, but they are looking. The Taz Dingo is popped. There comes the unstoppable dashes and heals from Delta as Fade clears the wave. Rob looks for the jump on iFeed. They get it. And a fantastic pull there from E-Bagatron. Amazing work on the Anduin as they were looking to lock down and murder. But there are still no kills on the board for Team Happy Cloud as BoomerGaming has been on top of pressing their buttons. Drinking Bird takes a huge chunk there from the Simple Geometry boosted Scatter Arrow. Drinking Bird over the 7-sided strike. They're going to do so much damage. The Chronicler is blown away on the Space Goat. Hippity hop that. And Calavo is going to get hit. Chrisinator does so much damage as he's stacking up as well. The bunker tanking the shots here as they kill the Urel, but they're going to need to send their own offlaner soon to deal with the double catapult here in the bottom lane. The 5-man will jump onto taking this camp, and now they're only 1 level behind, which, I mean, it's tough for them to say, but that is an improvement. The Immortals are going to spawn in 30 seconds. They also have their own camp to capture if they so desire. Now, Blaze has gone to the bot lane. This is still a 4v4 as Urel is dead for the next 5 seconds. So they will clear out this camp here. They're looking to take their camp, their Bruiser camp, before the Immortal spawn, but the Immortals are coming up right now. This Bruiser camp is coming as well. It looks like both teams may prioritize their Bruisers before they jump into a fight. And again, the tight quarters of this map make the Light Bomb and Dragon's Arrow combo so terrifying if you're Team Happy Cloud. So we see the race coming out quickly from Fade, Delta, and Chrysinator. Chronicler looking to jump in, so is Calivoth. They feel comfortable just leaping onto their opponents. The Dragon's Arrow will come out. It lands directly, but there is the Divine Shield. They managed to keep him safe. Drinking Bird taking a lot of damage. The Angelic Armaments will keep himself for now as Bunker is popped as well. That is every ultimate except for Ardent Defender off the field immediately, and no one is dead yet. They're going to go back to racing. The attempted defense. It looks like Rob will take a ton of damage from Ivy there. Delta will jump onto Ivy, trying to make him feel bad about having not a huge health pool. There's another Unstoppable onto Fade, takes a ton of damage. A huge choke point here, but no opportunity. And Drinking Bird will go down on Imperius. Oh, the resets from Dope Master. He's going to kill Fade as well. And Delta forced to leap to the Angel and get out. And in the meanwhile, the Bruiser camp has been poking away at the Keep, and the Keep will go down. That is both Keeps down for Team Happy Cloud. In the bottom, the Keep gate is going down, but trading that for an Immortal at this point is worth it for BoomerGaming.
Blue team's core is under attack.
Chrysinator sent back to deal with this camp pushing onto the core with the help of catapults. And it looks like Belith is victorious in the Eternal Struggle, will push in through the top, and there are no Keeps to stop him. And to top it all off, BoomerGaming is just about to hit level 20 and will come into their siege with their final heroic abilities. Chronicler looking for an opportunity for a surprise jump in. We've got the Bullseye, the Seraphim, and once again the Dragon's Arrow lands, but a fantastic shield once again, Divine Shield, but that means Imperius is all alone at the front and is killed. 7-sided hits nobody. Here comes the Taz Dingo. He's trying to kill Dope Monster, but the Taz Dingo's about to run out, and that is the end of Chrysinator. We also have Censure, Rewind, and Repulsion. Belith is on the core. He's lost his shield, but he still has all his health. The Bunker is out. The stun comes out. They kill Uther. They're going to jump onto Robbie. Has 700 health. He is blown away by Dope Monster. And that is it. The only one left is Delta, but they will chase down Karazim. And game number 1 will go to BoomerGaming. Just very, very well played. Choking the life out of their opponents, taking away their ability to use that triple frontline to do what it wants to do, and using that ranged poke to make their life difficult. And that's reflected in the 13-1 kills. You have to be able to use what they were doing early in the bot lane to lock people down, lock people in place, blow them up, and they couldn't get the kills they wanted onto Calivoth, who played his Murden so well, playing right on the line of what you can get away with him, and very well played. So we see pretty ordinary Anduin build, again a fairly standard Velen's Chosen. So these two combined does give Urel a surprising amount of damage late in the game, especially being unstoppable for 2 seconds. Giant Slayer, yeah, percent health damage, yeah, a pretty decent build here from Hanzo as well. Ordinary Murden build, Mirror Ball, and Triumvirate. So some good range damage here from Dope Monster. We see the dash build here with Karazim. Pretty standard with the E build for Blaze at this level, the Benediction Uther. Big time Q build Zul'jin. I don't know how common this is at this level. I would have to ask someone who knows more. And big time Pathetic Mortals, Celestial Swiftness, Flash of Anger. So big time, they really wanted to capitalize on their stuns. Like they get cooldowns on this stun here. They get cooldown on Celestic Charge. I think with this one, yeah, the cooldown is reduced. So they really wanted to capitalize on stunning people, but Chrysinator wasn't really put in a position where he could successfully kill them, because somehow these Hanzo Dragon Arrows just kept landing in the troll's face, and then he was even with the Divine Shield, they could just turn focus at that point, blow someone else up because no damage was coming out, and win the fight. So just incredibly well played there from our red team, Boomer Gaming, as they win game 1, and we'll see where we will go for game number 2. Some very strong play there by Boomer Gaming. So, game number 2 is going to be on Tomb of the Spider Queen. We're going to see a smaller map come out. We haven't seen this played yet today, so we'll see what these teams have to bring us as they collect spider butts and possibly take the single neutral boss when they feel like it, you know? So, without further ado, let's hop into game number 2. We'll see if Team Happy Cloud can bring us on level footing, bring us to a game 3, or if we will see Boomer Gaming win the series by domination. Let's go into game number 2 between Team Happy Cloud and Boomer Gaming. So we see, again, we have the blue team as Team Happy Cloud. We've got Genji, Probius, Malfurion, Leoric, and Stitches. So very, very strong wave control characters between Probius and Leoric. Malfurion Stitches can be very, very strong with the root. And Genji with the ability to finish off anything that Probius weakens. This is going to hinge entirely. Once again, Chrisinator is the carry on this team right now. Genji finishes kills. He doesn't really get them on his own, so we need kind of damage from the Probius for Genji to get the resets and blow people up. Otherwise, I think their wave control is fantastic. There's a lot of like the waves or the lanes are all very close together, so very easy for Probius to go from lane to lane. He just needs to not get caught, and especially with the amount of damage a Chromie can drop from a long way away, and the area from which an Anubarak can engage, Chrisinator is going to have to play this Probius out of his mind if he wants to be able to safely blow people up and win the game. On the red side, we see Anubarak, Blaze, Chromie, Sylvanas, and Anduin. Ebagatron's Anduin looked splendid last game, so I don't suspect any drop-off in play there. Sylvanas and Chromie also give you really good wave clear and good siege, and Blaze and Anubarak means you should be safe in pretty well every fight. So again, I think both these teams have a lot of potential to do good things, but again, I think the burden of execution is on the riskier draft. So let's see what we get as we play game number 2 between Team Happy Cloud and Boomer Gaming. In the blue, we have Team Happy Cloud. Chrisinator is on the Probius. We've got Drinking Bird on Genji. R275 Delta is on this Malfurion. Over here, we've got Rob on the Leoric. And still sitting here in his swim gear is Fade on the Stitches. In the red, we've got Boomer Gaming. Calivoth is on the Anubarak. Ebagatron is on Anduin. Chronicler is here on Blaze. Dope Monster is on Chromie, and we've got iFeed bringing Sylvanas. So at 1, we've got Agile Dismount, pretty much always standard for Genji. Warp Resonance, so hit heroes with the Warp Explosions, and after hitting 8 heroes, you get increased damage. After hitting 16, you get an additional charge. We do have Nap Time, Emerald Dream Roots, Ossian Renewal for Leo, and Hungry for More. So Stitches will be looking for more movement speed and lots of orbs. He might even be feeding for globes. Wait, that's a different team in Heroic difficulty. Power Word Shield for Anduin, Might of the Banshee Queen for Sylvanas, Adrenaline Stim Pack for Blaze, the Vision, so Time Walker's Pursuit for Chromie, and Nerubian Armor for Anubarak. In the bottom, the offlaners are doing offlaner things. This can be... Basically, all of Leo's matchups go like this. If you hit Drain Hope, you win. If you miss Drain Hope, you back up. So, a skilled Leoric can really punish a Blaze, but a really skilled Blaze can make it so that you never land a Drain Hope. So it's really skilled big time. I would say all of Leo's matchups are pretty much skill matchups. There's not very many matchups where he just always wins regardless, but there's very few matchups he straight up loses as long as he hits most of his Drain Hopes. So They're looking for the gank here. iFeed comes down, is going to throw a couple abilities at Rob, but he's able to safely get away. And that's one nice thing about Leoric. Very hard to kill Leoric as long as he's paying attention to the minimap DLC. Now, not every player gets this. At least that's what my experience is in Silver and Bronze. I mean, not every character or player gets this DLC here. Now, it is a free DLC, but, you know, I don't think there's enough awareness of it. So, you know, maybe we should do a charity to make sure that everybody gets the minimap DLC. Just raise awareness for it. We can call it MFN, Minimaps for Noobs. That NEWB, so it's not real. We do see they're trying to take this bottom camp, but BoomerGaming is not willing to just give it up. So Calivoth will step on it. The 4-man rotate is down, and there's just not enough members of Team Happy Cloud here to contest. There will be the root and the nap for Chronicler. Rob using the Drain Hope, using the Wraith Walk, just doing Leo things. Stitch is in the top, pushing back. BoomerGaming does capture the Sea Giant camp, but both teams are pretty even here. Both teams have also captured their camper. Delta's in a very dangerous position here. He's taking a lot of damage. The Impale will hit, and they're going to jump onto the Malfurion. Why he was doing this far up, I don't fully understand, but that is one dead Druid. In the bottom, Leo will clear away these Sea Giants as Blaze comes down to try to protect them a little bit further. And up here, now the way they've been playing has made it really hard for there to be any value on hooks. So this has been from very kind of clever macro play from BoomerGaming. Fade really hasn't had an opportunity to land a hook and get a lot of value out of it. Now, Drinking Bird forced to use the Protector. Deflect, not Protect. Calivoth uses the Impale, hits 3, is going to jump in onto Chrysinator's Probius. There is no damage involved. Drinking Bird takes so much damage, though, and is actually just straight up killed. And playing into a Chromie with 2 very squishy DPS does make life spicy. That's 21 turned in. They're looking to turn in 11 more here, but Probius will put that, does hit, and so they don't manage to turn in any of those. Fade with his 25. Not looking to turn in, but Rob with 20 looking to turn in the bottom at the moment. And the number of characters on both teams are really quite good at stalling out turn-ins. I mean, Probius can do it, Malfurion can do it. They're going to get the hook on EBI. Now, great root there, and it looks like Anduin should die here. Drinking Bird has jumped onto the Anduin. The Dragon Squall will kill him. Here comes the Burrow Charge from Calivoth, but now he's put himself in a really dangerous position. He has no way to get out. Calivoth taking a ton of damage here. A Time Trap does prevent Malfurion from helping with this, and Calivoth will get out. Now, the roots will come down, and there is the nap for Chromie, unable to get the Sandblast off. As she's specced into the Sandblast here at 7, or 5 for her. Big autos. We got the offlane Stitches going. That's pretty normal. Kappa. Chrysinator looking to turn in 14. They only need 4 more. Both teams only require 4 more to turn in. There is the poke from the Chromie. And in the bottom, they're also looking to turn in hand. So both sides are zealously protecting. But that is the catch on the Chrysinator. He doesn't look like he has his little zoom ability. He's going to have to be careful. Censure will miss the probe, who, to be fair, has a very small hitbox. Oh, there's just so many abilities to prevent anybody from actually turning in here. It is quite entertaining. Now, does Blaze have enough? Blaze has the 4. That's all he needs. No one is looking to stop Chronicler here, although Fate is going to step in. Does get stopped by Calivoth, does get interrupted, and they're not able to stop, and the Web Weavers will descend for the red team. But now they're caught in a choke point. Fate is taking so much damage on this Stitch, down to 30 health. He is killed. Drinking Bird is now in here. He uses the deflect, but who's he going to kill with it? Forced to get out as the roots go down.
Descend, my daughters. Descend and destroy the blue team.
I'm not really, at this point, understanding. I don't know if they're waiting for 13 or what, but the Stitches play has not really been, like, catch someone and kill them so far. Maybe they're waiting for later in the game when the lanes are more open. But so far, Stitches has often been in the off lane, or they just seem a little bit, not discombobulated, but disorganized at the moment on Team Happy Cloud. A mind control will come out as 10s are here for Boomer Gaming. Team Happy Cloud forced to back away. The Cocoon is onto Malfurion. He does take a good chunk of damage, and Stitches will go down again. Leo forced to defend in the bottom, and Genji is defending in the mid. But in the top, with the black arrows, it looks like a lot of damage will go down onto this fort. And even though the Web Weavers are down, the 4-man here will push it down. So the first building advantage will go over to Boomer Gaming. Now, on the plus side, they've kept their gems on the side of Team Happy Cloud, and they will be able to turn in themselves, although it's only 1 gem away for the members of Boomer Gaming. And now they have all they need. Genji is turning in. Now Web Weavers will be on their side. In the top lane, it's not going to... Well, actually, in none of the lanes. All the lanes are pushed in, so they're not going to have a quick advantage in any of the lanes, so to speak. But the Web Weavers are on their way as Christinator goes to clear the bottom lane. And it looks like Boomer Gaming is just preparing themselves to defend at this point. I honestly don't know if I've seen Fade throw a... I've seen 1 hook. It didn't lead to anything. But now they have 10s as well. We have the X-Strike, Pylon, Overcharge, Gorge, Entomb, and Tranquility. So there will be some opportunities here. Mind Control will come out on the Stitches again. A big stun there, but the Roots will come out. Out comes the Entomb. They've got E-Bagatron there, but there's no way to really follow up. He's going to take big damage from the Probius, but it's not enough to take him down. Tranquility is popped by Delta on this Malfurion as they are pushing in here. It is all 5 trying to take down this middle fort as Chromie clears in the top and Calavoth clears in the bottom. Middle fort will go down there. There's the Gorge onto Blaze. Bagatron needs to be careful as Christinator tries to hit him. They will. Chronicler with a good triple stun. Out will come the X-Strike there. Genji, Drinking Bird finishes off the Anduin and then uses the deflect to prevent the Temporal Loop from getting a kill on him. It's a 2 for nothing, and that was an excellent play. The melee Gorge. And a great hook there onto Ifeed. That's the end of Sylvanas. And Fade was just waiting for level 13, but decided to get just a slight head start on those huge level 13 hooks with a beautiful snag on the Sylvanas. They're looking at the keep here. And that is interesting. Death timers are very, very short. But they do have the 13 advantage. Rob's taking a lot of damage. Out comes the Censure. He's down to 400 health. The Cocoon will land onto Fade. The stun is onto the Stitches here. Calavoth forced to be careful. Rob drops the Entomb just to keep them away. And Probius drops the Warp Rift. Both teams have enough for another full turn-in. Genji and Delta doing so right now. So are Fade and Rob. Rob will not be able to turn in time as the Beatles come out, as do the Impale. The rest of the members of this team are taking their siege camp, but they are coming to support Calavoth right away. Rob needs to be careful. He is not able to turn in and is actually down to about 25% health with 25 gems to turn in. Christinator is turning in 30 in the top lane. Does get them all in. So they are 1 away, while in the bottom it looks to be turning in. They're trying to kill Fade here. He's at 300 health, 200 health, 40 health. They do kill, and all of his gems are scattered around. But his team is able to pick up their Web Weavers. They clear away the camp here, but with the black arrows, another fort will fall on the side of Team Happy Cloud as their Web Weavers drop. Now, one of their Web Weavers is actually going to spawn right here in the bottom lane, so it will get next to no value, but they're going to support the one on the top lane, looking to take out the top fort. But rotating towards them are the other members. Genji did get Cocoon, a good deflect, but the Mind Control means he's no longer protected. He will use X-Strike to get out, which will keep him safe, but he is, I can't tell if he was or not actually caught by the Temporal Loop there. That was a bizarre interaction. We'll have to look back on that one. Drinking Bird is taking good chunks of damage. The hook will come out and just misses Chronicler, but there's no damage on this keep as the engage from the members of Boomer Gaming. Rob is taking a ton of damage here. He has 30 gems. He has to be careful. Good warp rifts there meant that Calavoth did not want to follow into the reach of Probius. In the bottom lane, this almost no health Web Weaver is going to fire off one last... No! It doesn't fire off its little purple energy thing. it is stopped by the power of the Fire Bat. The probe does get some warp rift damage onto this building. He has fully stacked his warp rift so far. There is 22 globes, so another 5% movement speed for Stitches. A big wave pushed into the mid here. It is down to about 3/4 health as both teams are nearing level 16. Calaboth looking to turn in 13. This would be enough for Web Weavers as the hook comes out, but no Gorge follow-up as the team is not here. Fade does take a good chunk of damage, and the Censure will land. Almost anyone can turn in here. They only need 11, so Chronicler will be the one to turn in, and this is going to need to be defended by the members of Team Happy Cloud. The Mind Control does come out onto Drinking Bird. The hook only hits a minion, and so some pick abilities are used, but they are not enough to get a kill on anyone. Rob will go bottom to defend there, and there is a camp mid, although it will go down quickly to the Sylvanas Black Arrows. In the top, Christinator, Drinking Bird, and Delta are looking to take out this Web Weaver while Fade attempts to zone. Web Weaver already pretty far up in this bottom lane. Rob is going to have to back up. The other members of BoomerGaming are looking to push this forward into the mid, but the top one has already gone down, so now the members of Team Happy Cloud are happy enough to rotate safely here and try to protect their middle fort with the Probius Wave Clear. Impale comes out, hits 2. The Mind Control will come out, but it will whiff. Rob is still clearing bottom, and it is gone, meaning they can do a 5-5 defense. Fade will catch the Chromie, though, and she's caught here. Out comes Extreme, a fantastic pull from me. Bagatron will once again save a teammate. Genji forced to use the flip, but the temporal loop is coming out, and they're going to pile a lot of damage onto Genji. Calaboth the follow-up stun. Genji's at 100 hit points. Is he going to survive? No! Killed by the Beetle. Bagatron is incredibly low on Anduin here. They get the stun onto Leoric, and he dies as well. And there are gems just sitting there. The hook will miss there. It is a 2-for-0. Proby is still clearing wave, but at this point, with the Black Arrows coming out, they will lose their last fort.
Has destroyed a fort.
And again, it's only about a half level ahead, but so far, most of these trades are little by little going into the favor of BoomerGaming, who are playing very, very well. They need 14 more to turn in. Calaboth only has 5. iFeed has 12, but it looks like Delta and Fade want to punish and take away his gems. So rude. Good unstoppable there. I think Fade had gone for the Gorge, but the Will of the Forsaken meant that Feed could just walk away and not worry about it. Rob misses the Drain Hope. It has gone Wraithwalk build, so he tries to go through. There is the hook and the Gorge onto the Anubarak here. The root will get him. He is rooted. The X-Strike will hit. The sleep is on him. He takes so much damage, and he is down. The bunker and the Power Word Salvation do come out. Bagatron is hooked here. Fantastic hook onto the Anduin, and the chase down is in now. It's 18-18. There is a time trap there, but it looks like the members of Team Happy Cloud want to take this boss, want to try to get the map back in their favor as Rob clears away the camps that are troubling their lanes. Genji, Probius, and Malfurion are here to hit this boss, while Stitches turns in all 3 of his coins. Or, not yet, not yet.
Red team
But they wait too long, and the red Web Weavers are summoned instead.
yours.
And with that double turn, and this actually will make life more difficult, even with the boss. Yes, it pushes pretty easily through a Web Weaver, but in their other 2 lanes, they're going to have to be defending instead of pushing with this boss. Stitches looking towards the bottom here to clear out this wave and this Web Weaver, while it looks like Genji and Probius are headed towards the mid to clear that out, and Rob is in the top, as at least 2 members are going to defend this boss. Calaboth looks for the burrow charge onto Rob, who's able to easily Wraithwalk away. And this boss is going down very, very quickly to the combined damage of Blaze, Sylvanas, and Chromie. Mid Red Web Weaver is dead. Bottom Red Web Weaver is dead. Top Red Web Weaver is, yeah, he's alright. The Wraithwalk just it manages to save Rob there. Some interesting timing on that. Looks like the top Web Weaver will go down fairly quickly as well. So the boss was able to take the top fort, which is a bit of a help. And the Red Web Weavers really only pushed their waves in, which means that wasn't... Blue team wasn't punished too heavily for waiting a while to turn in there. So that's got to feel pretty good for BoomerGaming. And they would like to invade here. The hook does go out on the Chronicler. Out comes the Silence Entomb. His 20s are here for both teams. This is going to be a huge team fight. The bubble protection comes out. Out comes... There is the 2-person Gorge, the 3-person Gorge, but Bagatron gets spit out. Chronicler's on point. Rob is taking so much damage. Rod goes down. Genji puts damage out, but he's killed as well. Chronicler gets pulled out and say Probius is dead, Stitches is dead, and they steal the camp, and it's a 4-0 for BoomerGaming as 20s come out. Living Weapon, Probius Loop, Serenity, Buried Alive, and Hungry Stitches came out, as well as Light of Stormwind, Dark Lady's Call, Burn Notice, Piercing Sands, and Rewind. And Bagatron can basically cast this every time. Like every 12 seconds or so, if it goes for its full duration. Which means they can end this game. There's Malfurion, there's the 5-man team wipe, and it looks like BoomerGaming wants to take this series 2-0. There is the bubble. No one's back even for 1 second. Here comes Rob, he's gonna do what he can. Oh, slightly mistimed. Here comes the Silence Entomb, but it is not enough. And game number 2, and this series will go over to BoomerGaming. And really, really well played there by BoomerGaming. And again, I feel like the drafts chosen by who's it? Team Happy Cloud. Sorry. Team Happy Cloud had some really interesting drafts. I love interesting drafts. And I don't know if these were some choices because playoffs are coming up and the seeding doesn't matter or what. I'm so glad they picked fun drafts. But it really did make life more difficult for them. And the very solid, very standard, very strong drafts drafted by BoomerGaming meant that they were able to take both these wins, I would say fairly comfortably. Not necessarily dominantly, but fairly solidly. Christinator's Probius looking pretty good here. But yeah, we have a Spell Shield, or just Shield Nubrak here. Q-Build with Vision, Chromie, fairly standard Blaze, but with the spell power decrease here. We had, again, fairly standard EW Sylvanas, Speed of the Pious. Okay, that's definitely one option. All the speed options at 13 are fine for Anduin. We did go for Holy Word Salvation instead of Light Bomb. But that kind of made sense, because who's going to interrupt it? They just have damage. They don't have a lot of displace on this team. We've got Wraithwalk, Leo. Pretty standard Hook Gorge Stitches here. I don't know that much about Malfurion, so I can't speak to that. Nobody plays Probius, so I can't say what's normal. And Way of the Shimada, Final Cut. Yeah, decent Genji build here. But that is this matchup. Congratulations on the 2-0 to BoomerGaming, and thank you to both these teams for providing an entertaining game to watch. VODs will be on Twitch for 7 days and on my YouTube after this. If you would like to stick around, we will be casting a Div A matchup fairly soon here. Give me about 10 minutes to catch a drink, give my voice a short rest, and we will jump into our 4th matchup of the day shortly. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're having a great day, and go enjoy yourself some Heroes of the Storm, but make sure you come back in 10 to 15 minutes to watch. I'll tell you who it is. Crit Kickers versus Came From Behind. See you then, guys.